Are you trying to plan or host an activity?
Do you not know how to write goals for this event?
Do you love acronyms?
Well, we have something for you.
SMART goals. So, Lauren, what does this acronym actually mean?
Yes, so our S stands for specific. Our M stands for measurable. Our A stands for attainable. Our R stands for reasonable. And our T stands for time bound.
Yeah.
So, Annie, why do we use these goals?
Yeah, totally. So we use these goals and we use this acronym so that we can have more specific goals that we can actually see through.
So, Annie, I think it would be best to explain this deeper with an example.
Of course. So let's say that maybe we want to do something like host a fundraiser. So we have this goal, and it's pretty vague right now. So let's see if we can make it SMART. So our first letter in SMART goals is, of course, our S, meaning specific. So the question that we should ask ourselves with this first letter is, how can we make this goal overall more specific?
Yes, exactly. I think with this, we're trying to add more detail. And with this specific goal, I think that maybe specifying what type of fundraiser would really help us to get that S in there. So I think maybe we want to have a bake sale. So the next thing that we need to do after we make our goal more specific is to make it more measurable. Now, making it measurable means actually adding some sort of, in this case, maybe a number amount or something that just helps you reach this goal and makes it really so that you can see the goal. So, Annie, how do you think that we can make this goal more measurable?
Yeah, of course. So we want to host a bake sale to raise money. So maybe we can make it more measurable by adding an amount that we want to raise. For example, maybe we want to say that we want to host a bake sale and raise at least $500. So we just covered our immeasurable. So how can we cover the next letter of our acronym, attainable? What the attainable means is this goal something that we can actually do with our resources, with the people that we have? Can we right now actually see this goal through?
Yeah, so while it may not be something that we can actually add something to our goal, we know if it's attainable through prior experiences. So an example is we've had a bake sale before and we've been able to earn over $400. So looking at our goal, $500 isn't that much of a step up. So next, now that we know it's attainable, next is realistic. So is it realistic and is it reasonable? These are kind of interchangeable words. So is this something that can be approved and that we can do?
Yeah, so let's take a look back at our goal so we can answer that question. So we say that we want to host a bake sale and raise at least $500. So considering our past experience that we have done a bake sale before and we have been able to raise over $400, considering that we've done it before and we were able to get it approved last time, this is totally a realistic goal for us to do. So finally, we have gone through all of the other letters in our acronym. And now it's time for us to do our final one. T. What does this mean? Our T stands for time bound or time sensitive. What this means is that we want to set a time that we want this goal to actually be seen through. Because really, if we want to actually do this goal, it makes a lot more sense for us to attach a time or a date to it so that we actually have a calendar that we're going by.
Yes, so in this goal, I think that we really just need a date for our bake sale. And I think a pretty good date is maybe November 5th, let's say. And so that really helps us having that date down when we're planning for things. So we know that we need to have permission slips sent out or whatever else that needs to be done by this date.
So we actually just made our goal. Let's look at it since we've completed it. So on November 5th, we will host a bake sale to make at least $500. So Lauren, does this actually cover each of our letters in our acronym?
Let's start with S. How did we make our goal of originally just hosting a fundraiser more specific? We said that we wanted to host a bake sale rather than just any other fundraiser. Next is measurable. So how did we make sure that we could measure our success through this goal? We said that we wanted to make at least $500. And that's a pretty measurable goal because we will make money off of this. And then we said attainable. Now, we didn't add anything to our goal for this, but we did make sure, based off of our prior knowledge and prior experiences, that we thought that this is something that we could do. Then we went to reasonable. We said that we could get this passed and get this approved pretty easily, again, a little bit based off of that prior experiences. Then finally, we went to time-bound, RT. Then we added a specific date, November 5th, when this SMART goal would be made. So I think that our goal is pretty smart.
I do too.
So Annie, we know that this applies to our goal of hosting a fundraiser, but what other things do our SMART goals apply to?
Yeah, of course. So really, our SMART goals can apply to anything. Really, another avenue that we apply these goals to is something that we want to learn. For example, let's say that I'm taking a Spanish class and I really want to learn and understand the language. So maybe a goal that I would make for myself is by the end of the week, I will learn 20 new Spanish verbs. And then let's go through our acronyms, through our letters, to see if this goal is actually SMART. So let's start with our S, specific. Well, we made this goal specific by saying that we want to learn new Spanish verbs. That's very specific, and it says exactly what we want to know. Then let's move on to our M, measurable. Well, we made it measurable by saying that we want to learn 20 new Spanish verbs. It says exactly how many that we actually want to know. Then let's move on to our A, attainable. Is this something that we can actually do? Well, considering that we're in a Spanish class right now and we've been working up to this, we can say that learning 20 new Spanish verbs is very attainable. Next, let's move on to our R, realistic. Again, kind of bouncing off of attainable, considering that we are taking a Spanish class and we have a basic knowledge of Spanish, and maybe we've started on our Spanish verbs, this goal is very realistic. And then lastly, let's focus on time-bound. So we set a time that we actually want to accomplish this goal by the end of this week. So it is time-bound and is time-sensitive and sets a specific time that we want to see this goal through.
Yes, and we kind of mentioned two examples. We mentioned a fundraiser, and then we mentioned the Spanish example, but our SMART goals can apply to any goal that we want to accomplish, whether that be in our learning or in our personal life or in our extracurricular activities. It's really, really important to make SMART goals because eventually we'll see that it allows us to accomplish these goals better.